Hey everyone, I just released the latest version of Breezy Desktop, my virtual workspace productivity tool for XR glasses like these ones. And the newest feature is something I've been wanting to add for years, but I never had the right hardware to do it until VITURE sent me a pair of the Luma Ultras. The Luma Ultras are capable of 6DoF, which stands for 6 degrees of freedom. And if you've used XR glasses in the past, they've probably been 3DoF glasses like these ones, which means that they're able to send orientations like looking up and down, looking left and right, and even rotating, but not positional changes like shifting left or right, shifting up or down, or moving forward or back. With 6DoF glasses, it has the same 3DoF sensors as all the other glasses built in, but it also has these little grayscale cameras on each temple. And these cameras allow it to scan the environment, and in addition to the orientation of 3DoF glasses, it can also tell exactly where you are and how you're moving. With the older 3DoF glasses in Breezy Desktop, I had to work around the limitations of the glasses. Because you couldn't move around, I had to build features into the software that allowed the screens to come closer to you when you were focusing on them. But with the 6DoF glasses, you can lean in if you'd like to, you can lean out if you want to get a bigger picture, or you can even shift around. You can even see behind the screens, which is just kind of a cool party gimmick, but not actually useful. So that might sound like a small thing, but it ends up being the last big step to really allowing Breezy to be a natural, immersive experience. But if you're watching this and you only own a set of 3DoF glasses, stay tuned for my next video where I'll show you how you can achieve 6DoF using just a pair of 3DoF glasses and a standard webcam like the one that might be built into your laptop. So with all that background out of the way, let's take a look. Okay, so I've got my glasses on now. They're plugged in and they should be recognized by my Breezy Desktop app. VITURE Luma Ultra is connected. I'll enable the effect here. And while that's calibrating, I'm going to talk about the display distances and size settings. So the all displays setting determines how close the display seems to be when you lean in or away. So all these distances are approximate based on the device specs. So if I lean in, it should feel like it's about 2.5 feet away based on this setting I've chosen here. The size of the display is no longer determined by how far away it is. So when I have zoom on focus turned off and I have it set to a 30-inch distance here, it'll be about full screen, as you can see. I can adjust to a more preferred size if I want to, and then that size won't change if it is pulling it closer for zoom on focus, like that. So this feature still works if I look away, look towards it, and it zooms towards me. And now it's approximately 26 inches away, so it's easier to lean into. So let's add a bigger display so we can see how this might be useful. Now I have a 1440p display over here, and it's nice and zoomed out, but you'll see if I open a browser that there's a bit of a detail loss on the text here. But with 6DoF, I can just lean in to get a closer view of it, and everything becomes much clearer. I've got a couple new advanced settings that I want to take a look at, because in combination with 6DoF, I find that using this horizontal multiplier makes Breezy Desktop much more efficient. So if I slide this thing over to 2, what this is doing is it's doubling my horizontal head movements. So I have to move my head half the distance to achieve the same amount of movement as before, which is really amazing, especially if you've got a couple extra displays on the side. You'll be doing a lot less head movement. And that's one of those features that you can only have on XR glasses that is actually an advantage over a real workspace. So I find that really cool. And once you get used to it, you probably won't want to turn it off. The last feature that I've added that is not related to 6DoF, but a lot of people have been asking for, is this dead zone. So a lot of people, if you have sort of a shaky head, or if you have a really strong heartbeat where you can kind of see a wobble in your glasses, or you like to eat while you're using them, sometimes if a wobble is quick enough, like your heartbeat, the effect will render it late enough that it'll sort of be moving in the opposite direction, and it creates a really off-putting effect. By using the dead zone, and this is a value in degrees, I've got this set to 1 degrees, the screen will follow me until I've moved beyond 1 degree. It's sort of like a much smaller version of follow mode. And so depending on the amount of shaking that you're seeing in your glasses, you can make this bigger or smaller. If I choose something really extreme like 5, you might find that having it set to something really small, like 0.1, will do just enough to make it a little more comfortable experience. Or you might not want to use it and just turn it off. There are a couple important things I wanted to call out before I wrap up. The first is that the VITURE SDK that I was provided does take up quite a bit of CPU. So on my development laptop and on my Steam Deck, I found that the SDK takes up around 2 cores of CPU. So depending on what type of tasks you're doing, or if you're gaming, that might be impactful. I was a bit disappointed to find this out because VITURE in their marketing did indicate that the processing would all be done on the glasses. And when I reached out to them about this, they said it's actually a hybrid approach where there's some processing done on the glasses and some done on the host CPU. But obviously it's pretty significant. And VITURE did say that they would be working on this, so let's just keep the pressure on them to deliver on that. And the last important thing is just that because these are using cameras to determine your position, the 6DoF features work best when you're in a really well-lit room where it can distinguish between the things in your environment pretty well, where there's like high contrast, highlight visibility. Without that, you'll find the 6DoF features will not work or won't work well. So that's it for the latest updates to Breezy Desktop. If you have a pair of the VITURE Luma Ultras, it's already live and ready for you to check out. And like I said earlier, if you have a pair of 3DoF glasses and a webcam, keep an eye out for my next video where I'll show you how you can take advantage of 6DoF features as well. Thanks for watching.